Welcome to At Issue and welcome to the holidays. We hope you're enjoying the holidays and find time to relax and also reflect on the goodness that was brought during 2013 in Central Illinois. Unfortunately, we're going to talk about a bump in the road that occurred in November with weather, and it devastated a portion of Pekin, of East Peoria, of Washington, Roanoke, Benson, and other areas in Central Illinois. It was not something that we were expecting, obviously, but we're on the road to recovery, and that's what we're thankful for. And we're going to talk about that recovery effort with representatives of Washington and also coming in from FEMA. So we'll introduce to you the city administrator for the city of Washington, Tim Gleason. Tim, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And across from him at the table is Pastor Tom Goodell. Pastor is the directing pastor at Crossroads United Methodist Church. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
The mayor of the city of Washington is Gary Menier. You have had your hands full, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Of course, all of you have had your hands full. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
And Minneapolis is home for you, Deanna?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, thank you for being a resident of Central Illinois for the past several weeks and looking into the future. Deanna Frazier is with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the Media Relations Specialist. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
It was 5 weeks ago as we sit here that the tornado, an EF4, and as a matter of fact, my understanding is the worst tornado to hit Illinois in the month of November ever in its history, came across and did the most damage, of course, in Washington. And I had an opportunity to cover a news conference that the city held just 2 days after the tornado. And Mayor, if you'll excuse me, I saw weight on your shoulder that day, and I imagine it's still there.
Yeah, you know, as I reflect back at that, H, it's like it's the unimaginable. You know, when you raise your hand to serve, and this is my 13th year, I never dreamed that I'd be leading the city through such a devastating time. But I can't say enough for our residents. They keep me going each and every day, and as we get further away, and I continue to say it's the recovery process. We're not talking about what happened on the 17th. We're looking forward. But my residents continue to lift me up. Their spirits are just incredible, and I'm looking forward to 14 from the standpoint that enthusiasm's still there. And obviously with the pastor here, the churches have done just a phenomenal job. Every time I run into one of them, they pray with me. My office has become a chapel at times at City Hall, but it's just the resilience of this community. And you know Central Illinois, we're going to bounce back from this, and we're going to be better than ever. But our city staff, our crews, you know, we're probably at 45% of debris removal at this point, and we're going to get better. And that's how the recovery is going to happen, is get the debris out of the way so we can rebuild our great community.
And if anyone doesn't recognize the orange T-shirt that Gary has on, it, of course, is Washington Strong. And Pastor, if I'm not mistaken, do you have an orange wristband on?
Yeah.
Washington Strong and the wristband as well.
Which actually was given to me by the students of Morton Elementary School. Tells you about the community strength here in Central Illinois.
As the pastor, the directing pastor at Crossroads, what was, and by the way, your building, you had a service when the tornado came through, and it missed you by how far?
A couple hundred yards. There's a farmhouse, actually the family that our land sits on, the Montgomery family, it took out their farmhouse, which is adjacent to our church. So at about 11 o'clock, we were in the midst of our worship service, just getting started, and I noticed people looking at their cell phones, and it was because everybody now has that wonderful weather alert that went off, and someone got my attention and said there's a tornado on the ground in Washington, and so we began to evacuate people into the storm shelters, and had some people in the parking lot, so I went out to direct them, and that's when I saw the tornado coming through Devonshire on the ground, saw the debris field, and we knew that it was on a path, we thought at that moment, headed directly for our church.
In the aftermath of that, you stepped forward, your church stepped forward in a big way. What capacity did you serve in the immediate aftermath?
Well, sure. We had agreements with both the Red Cross and the Salvation Army in case of emergency, and we would always, every year, they would come in and kind of renew the agreement, and we would laugh about the fact that we were renewing an agreement that we'd never have to use. So we're glad we had those agreements in place. We got a generator up within a couple of hours after the storm. Of course, most of Tazewell County, I believe, was without power. So it was helpful to get a generator up, and because of where our church is located on the bypass, and having the parking lot lights up, people just began to come, as they did to all of the churches in Washington. We had a shelter that night for, I believe, 38 residents, and began providing hot meals for the residents of Washington that night. Actually had a pizza place in LaSalle, Peru, drive down 35 pizzas that night. They'd heard about the storm, and that started our feeding ministry. So give credit to LaSalle, Peru for jumping in. And
as a matter of fact, you could probably give credit to a lot of communities,
yes.
Jim.
That's true.
The support came from all over the place?
All over. As far north and as far south and in the state. So well represented.
Let me turn to Deanna. How fast was FEMA on the ground here after the tornado?
November 26th was the declaration that came from President Obama, and there were people here on the ground that day. And so we had individuals that were going out into the communities, looking into Washington and Brookport down south, trying to help residents register for FEMA assistance at that time.
So when you say register for FEMA assistance, what does that mean?
Well, there's three types of assistance that's available through FEMA. The first being rental assistance, and that's for individuals who have additional living expenses, maybe through their insurance, and if they have expended that amount of additional living expense, FEMA can come in and help them with additional living expenses up to 3 months of rental assistance, 1 month for renters. We also offer grants for rebuilding and repairing your homes, and we also offer grants to replace some of your personal property items as well.
Straight out grants, not loans.
Grants. It's grant money that does not affect your income tax. It doesn't affect your Social Security or any other federal programs that you may be eligible for at this time. And so this is free money that's on the table, that's there for people to register. And you know, if you do not register, you're simply leaving money on the table.
I know that Mike Peacock from the SBA, Small Business Administration, has been in town. We sometimes say the Small Business Administration is helping out. How does that happen? We couldn't include Mike in the conversation, but...
Right. What happens with the Small Business Administration, they actually should have an addition to their name called the Small Business and Homeowners Administration, but they do have an office of disaster assistance that comes in with a presidential declaration and offers low-interest home loans to individuals, and they can offer them for up to 30 years at 2.25%, and so well below what they can get at their local bank. They can also refinance their current mortgage into a home loan through the Small Business Administration, as well as give them loans for their personal contents. So for renters, $40,000, for homeowners, $40,000 for contents, and up to $200,000 for a home.
So really it's a combination of home insurance or renter's insurance, FEMA and SBA, that can make, or at least come close to making, a family whole when it comes to property.
Right, and it takes so many partners to help make those families whole again. And so like you said, it takes FEMA, the Small Business Administration, the Red Cross, the Central Illinois Office on Aging is also helping. We have crisis counselors that are helping, churches, faith-based led groups that are helping in this recovery. And so with all of those partners coming together, plus the families, they can recover bigger and better than what they were.
And there's a registration deadline?
There is a registration deadline. It is January 27th, and they can register in 3 ways. They can go to disasterassistance.gov. They can call us at 1-800-621-FEMA, 1-800-621-3362, or go to the Disaster Recovery Center in East Peoria, and that's at 2200 East Washington Street. There are individual assistance specialists there that can meet with you face to face and help answer any questions that you may have. You need to be prepared to have your Social Security number with you, your current contact information as well as a mailing address, and the address of the damaged property, as well as your checking account information so that we can direct deposit right into your checking account.
I want to continue the conversation about this team effort, Tim, because really it's not just Washington, the city of Washington, but other communities that have come forth and said, we can help you out.
That's true. We have mutual aid agreements through our Public Works Department, which the acronym is IMPAMAN. And through law enforcement, it's ILEAS, and through the fire department, fire service, it's MAVIS. But even outside of that, the support from other government entities has been overwhelming through the park districts, the townships. It's just amazing.
What kinds of things are communities stepping forward? Where are they helping out?
Really, you name it, and it's there at City Hall. We had a couple of accountants from the city of Chicago come down and help us when we were doing some number gathering early on. I know that the mayor's talked to Mayor Emanuel, and he's offered any support that's been needed from day one almost. Locally, Mayor Artis here in the city of Peoria. The law enforcement presence that we had from his department, the fire presence, the public works, building inspectors. I mean, that's an area in this recovery right now that we're preparing for the boom that we're expecting in the spring. Although we've permitted over 150, issued over 150 permits at this time, and even 2 of those are complete rebuilds, complete construction. So it's starting now. But going back to the question, really any city service that you can imagine, there's been assistance out there, and we're using that. And we'll never be able to thank everybody that's been involved in this. There's just those kinds of numbers out there.
There's an arena where cities can't help you out, and that's financially. Because we pay our property taxes a year in arrears, it will be the year 2015 when people start paying property taxes, but because of the damage, there'll be a lower assessed valuation. That's going to impact you in addition to sales tax. Do you have any projections?
I mean, we're looking at 47% reduction in property tax just from the value of the homes that were destroyed. So now they become, back to what it was when they're just a lot, before they built. And our citizens, again, are amazing because we're having them stop by City Hall saying, is there an affidavit I can sign so we can continue to pay our property taxes as if we still had a home? I mean, that's the fabric of this central Illinois that we live in. And we got another group of people that are trying to say, we're going to collect $1,000 a year from people that have lost their homes because pay towards something to help the city. We're home rule, so we're based on the sales tax, and having 1,100 homes, those folks are living elsewhere. Will they continue to buy groceries and gas and restaurants, and will they shop at our stores? A lot of them are doing that now. I mean, in the first month and a half here, we're seeing that, but will we see it 6 months from now, a year from now? So we want to encourage people to shop in Washington, but the schools in the Park District and the library are going to suffer in 2015. So we're looking at trying to get some assistance from either the state or from the federal government to help that shortfall on the property tax.
And the governor has submitted a request to the federal government to help in that regard?
Yes, a request for public assistance has been sent to Washington for 9 counties in the state of Illinois. And we just have yet to wait and see what the determination is on that public assistance. That public assistance can include up to 75% of monies that are needed through the community. So for debris removal, for water treatment plants, that type of thing.
I want to turn to the emotional toll. The tornado happened in November. People have been running on adrenaline to a great degree. The holidays, a lot of support, families are there. And then we hit the new year, and things start to get back to, well, I've got things I've got to do. And what are the churches and other organizations doing to help out with that the period of time when all of a sudden reality sets in.
Sure, and one of the early conversations I had was with a pastor in Joplin, Missouri, and he said that it was about 45 days out when they really began to notice a spike in people visiting pastors and visiting mental health professionals and counselors and needing assistance. And so in addition to being nearly past the holidays now, it's the winter months, it's the coldest, darkest months of the year. And so pastors and mental health professionals are always aware that that's a difficult time for people in general, but to be displaced from your home is especially difficult. One of the things that we're working on is to help people reconnect with their neighbors. Washington and I'm sure East Peoria and Roanoke and Pekin are blessed with wonderful neighborhoods. And in addition to identifying with the city in which we live, we identify with our neighborhood. And we're displaced from our neighbors. We're living 30, 45 minutes apart, and we don't see each other. And so we're working on a series of block parties that we'll be hosting at the various churches beginning in February. February 9th, I think, is the date we've chosen for that, to bring back the neighbors and for them to reconnect with each other. The mayor and I were talking about how at the city meetings, people find their neighbors to sit with. So we watched that happening naturally and said, this would make a lot of sense to do this. We're also working on training for first responders and teachers and pastors and folks that will be a first contact with people who are dealing with PTSD, with the trauma after the storm. And we have some wonderful partners with OSF and the Children's Home and the Fayette companies who are going to be coming over and doing some training in Washington on January 11th to help us understand how to identify PTSD and how to refer, how to respond, how to help people to recover their lives emotionally as well as spiritually. The churches of our community, the faith-based organizations of our community have been tremendous, have worked together and continue to work together, as well as our wonderful business community, which has stepped in to support this.
And this is a multi-church effort?
Multi-church effort.
Ben Davidson at Bethany Community has been at the forefront of this as well?
Sure. I on my way here, I passed First Baptist Church, which is a wonderful church, and they had on their sign marquee free haircuts this Saturday for first responders and victims of the storm. So it's not just the big churches and the ones that get a lot of publicity, but all of the churches that have stepped up and all of the faith-based organizations that have stepped up to support, and that's testifies to the nature of our community.
Let me turn to both Tim and to Gary for a conversation about sometimes we don't think about all the different people who serve different roles in a community. Then all of a sudden, many of teachers, city staff are directly affected. And have you had an opportunity to talk to some of these people, and is there some sort of community resolve to band together and make sure everybody's okay?
Yes, there is. And we have. We're at a point in this where the emergency's over, what I've called the easy part of this, and we're planning for the long road to recovery. And we do have, we're at the point where we're reaching out to some of the city staff, some of the other people in the community, asking them to share their experience. We have some of the public works employees for the city of Washington. You sort of come up for air and you ask them how they're doing, and then you find out that they lost everything. So they're not just out responding, helping their community. You know, they've got a wife and kids in some cases that have been displaced while they're working 16 plus hours. It really is amazing. And you find that with the teachers, primarily from District 51. It's just all over the community, and it's not isolated again to just the city of Washington. It's East Peoria, it's Pekin, it's Roanoke. It really is amazing, and I think the mayor said this earlier in the interview, where it just makes you want to perform even better, even harder for them.
What are you hearing from city staff and others?
City staff looks tired. They've worked tirelessly through this effort. but they do it for our people. I mean, not one has complained, and I've even said, you know, early on, Mayor Ardis would text me 2 or 3 times a day that, Mayor, it's not a race, it's a marathon. Mayor, have you drank water? Have you eaten? So I started doing that with the city staff when I'd run into them and on the street or wherever, and they're, hey, I'm fine. How are you? You know, right back to worrying about someone else, and that. You can't teach that. You know, you don't hire people. That's not the type of thing you interview when you're looking for people. But to a man and woman in that city hall and that city staff, no matter what level of degree of work they're doing, it's all about the people of Washington. It just brings tears to your eyes every time I have conversations with any of them.
It occurs to me that as you go through the recovery effort and rebuild, and very clearly this is a multi-year. You've experienced this before. This is not next summer everything's going to be okay, right?
Yes, this could be, like you said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And the rebuilding process takes a period of time. And right now we're in a period of time where we've got snow on the ground. People aren't able to get contractors onto their properties. And so this could be well into next summer and even the next year. And, you know, those kinds of things bring back to your heart that these are people who still are going to be needing help next summer.
And as I think about this, even though Devonshire will be rebuilt, Georgetown Common will be rebuilt, it won't be the same. Trees are gone. They're chopped off. And they may live an extra year, but they're going to die. And there's going to be a whole new look. And sometimes that's difficult. You want things back. Have you talked about that?
Well, and we actually talked about that last night in our public meeting. Tim and I both addressed the Washington Estates. It's probably 60, 65 years old. Is there things we can do better? I mean, if you look at that, a lot of those people have been there their whole life, but it's going to be new homes. The vegetation, tree-wise, it's never going to be the same in our generation. But it's something that maybe our kids and grandkids can look at 50 years from now and say, wow, this thing is really back to what it was when mom and dad or grandma or grandpa were living there. But stop and think, an opportunity to have brand new homes. So it is going to be better. We're going to take a look at, can we put sidewalks in? They've never had sidewalks in that older subdivision. And that was our first home, was there. And it's gone, but you reflect back on that and you think about pushing a baby stroller, or when she got her first bicycle, my daughter Brooke, it was unsafe, narrow streets, and so we're going to make it better, and it's going to be a stronger Washington for it. But you're right, the vegetation and the look, you know, whether it's an aerial shot or just driving through without those nice big trees that matured so greatly through those communities. But all these homes are going to be new.
In times of emergencies, many people turn to their church. What are you hearing? And how are you? I know that you provided food, you provided shelter, you're doing block parties, but what, as a pastor, what are you saying to people?
Well, I think one of the important early messages that we stress is that this is not some punishment from God. This is not God directing storms from heaven. But that in the aftermath of that, the hope and the sense of community and the sense of love and care that we have for one another is directed by God, and we've experienced that. There's a wonderful family that lives in Washington Estates, that the older couple that have ended up in Chicago with their family. And when I spoke to them on the phone the other day, my assumption is that they would want to stay in Chicago, and they said, oh no, our home's in Washington, and our home's in Washington Estates, and we plan to come back and rebuild. And I think they're just in our church, we've identified about 80 families that lost their home. And of those 80 families, I know that 79 have told me they're going to come back and rebuild where they're at. And that's a testament to our belief in hope and the importance of rebuilding our neighborhoods and caring for each other. I do think after the first of the year, we're going to see a lot more the effects of PTSD and the trauma on people. And I think as pastors and leaders in the community, we're to be mindful of that. And so it will change, I think, as one of the things that we all know is that the blessing of being an optimist is we're going to rebuild, but it's not going to look like Washington in March or April.
Deanna, real quickly, the phone number for FEMA assistance?
1-800-621-FEMA, 1-800-621-3362.
And thank you to Tim Gleason and to Gary Manier from the City of Washington, to Deanna Frazier from FEMA, and Pastor Tom Goodell from Crossroads Church. And we thank you for joining us. We wish you the best of the holiday spirit. And the new year is coming up, and right after the new year, on January 2nd, we'll be back with another edition of At Issue, this time with the Affordable Care Act in place, starting January 1st. We'll talk to the presidents of Unity Point Health Methodist and Advocate Bromen Medical Center in Bloomington. Join us for the next At Issue in the new year.